I've had a very interesting experience over the past year. We're actually in the process of retrofitting my house. So I know what this experience is like. I will have to say to you that the most painful part of the experience was cleaning out my cellar. As I'm sure...
This was actually the second of two weatherization workshops that Congresswoman Pingree put on. And it's really just an opportunity for folks in the community to come together and to learn about some programs that might be available to them to help them make their homes more energy efficient, and some pretty simple low-cost tips on how they can do things to reduce their energy bills.
My experience says that a lot of homes can get 25 to 50% savings very easily. So it's not hard.
Congresswoman Pingree herself lives in a pretty old house that's pretty hard to heat, so she knows what it's like to have to pay some pretty high oil bills. And I think that a lot of folks in Maine are in that same situation. We have some of the oldest housing stock in the country. And I think when people sit down with an expert, and we tried to provide some experts at these workshops, and learn a little bit about some of the things they can do in their houses, it turns out that there are some pretty easy ways for them to save money. The price of energy just keeps continuing to go up, and I think everybody wants to do whatever they can to reduce the amount that they're shelling out each year to heat their house.
If you have an older home that's at least 80 years old, or if we're back into your era, you need an audit. You do need an audit, because I would not recommend fooling with insulation or air sealing until you have someone like myself there to take a look, because before we do anything, we want to eliminate any moisture problems in that home first before we touch it. In fact, we do that with any home, but it's even more critical with these very old or older homes.
There are actually two goals to these workshops. In the first part of each of these workshops, we had Bill Napower, who is a really well-respected home energy auditor, talk to the group, talk to the folks who had come about simple, low-cost things they could do in their own homes to reduce energy costs. And you know, one of the great things about Bill is he's able to explain things in very common sense and easy to understand terms. He's able to explain the differences between maybe a high-cost item that takes years to pay off versus something that's a lot less expensive, like caulking or weather stripping, which can pay off in energy savings right away. So that was the first part of the workshop. It was a presentation by Bill. And then in the second part, we brought in folks from various agencies, mostly in state government, to explain some of the programs, rebate programs and low-interest loan programs that are available to folks who wanted to make more significant upgrades to their houses. Bill's energy auditing company, his consulting company, has this motto, one tank, one season. The idea that you can heat your home for an entire heating season with just one tank of oil. And he says, you know, that's actually a very doable goal, a very reachable goal. A lot of folks don't quite get down to one tank, but a lot of people I know would be pretty happy if they could get by with 2 tanks of oil in a winter. The first workshop that Congresswoman Pingree held was called the Get Ready for Winter Workshop, and it was back in, I don't know, October or November, just as the heating season was starting to heat up. And then we had another one scheduled for midwinter, canceled ironically because of a snowstorm. And so when we scheduled this one in March, I think that it was very important for her to give folks in a different part of southern Maine an opportunity to come to one of these workshops. So we held it anyway, wondering if there were going to be many people in attendance. But despite the fact that spring was in the air that day, the room was packed to overflowing. So yeah, absolutely. Congresswoman Pingree wants to continue to offer these kind of workshops to help people save money, and other sort of similar workshops just as a service to her constituents in southern Maine, to help put them in touch with services that can be beneficial to them and help them learn how to save money. One of the things in Washington that Congresswoman Pingree is very interested in is a proposal before Congress called the Homestar program. And this is a program that provides a number of different incentives to really help people make some major improvements to their houses to reduce the amount of money they're spending on energy, to reduce the amount of energy that they're using. So that's a program proposal that is before Congress, and something that she's keeping a pretty close eye on. Congresswoman Pingree feels that it's her job as a member of Congress, in part, to put her constituents, the people of southern Maine, in touch with programs in state government and federal government, resources that can help them save money. So that's really the reason that she puts on workshops like these weatherization workshops. Folks can go to our website, which is www.pingree.house.gov, and there you'll find a page full of links to many of the programs and resources that were covered in this workshop.